Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, can be live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1247. When creativity strikes, what do you do? Do you ignore it? Do you take action with it? What do you do? So even though I've kind of been feeling a little crappy today, not sure what's going on, but doing all my usual stuff to help block whatever it is that's trying to grab hold. Basically ignoring, no, not really ignoring it, just taking measures for it and not acknowledging it. Taking measures against it and not acknowledging it. I think when you acknowledge things, that's when they kind of take, oh, I've been acknowledged. I can take some roots now. Yeah, no, not in this body. But anyway, so despite feeling crappy today, I've had a really good day. Got a lot of creativity done today, which what that looks like for me is that ideas just start flying. I've been working on some art pieces. I've been working on some writing pieces. I've had ideas flowing because from either the art or the other one, I've got ideas flowing about things that I can do next year. It's really that time of the year. I'm in that time of the year where I start looking, what can I do next year? And because when January 1st hits, I do not slow down for holidays. I will take my holidays off, but the rest of the time I am working. I am in there. I am coming up with ideas and plans and all of that. Will all of them come to fruition? No, but it's part of the creativity process. And so today I was super excited because I had my Amazon deliveries today with my organization stuff for Sparkles. Most of it's going to be in the bedroom, which is where it needs it the most right now, because that's the first part. And I even got one part done. It's just a small 8x6, 8 inches long, 6 inches wide, nothing like 5 inches high. Just a little basket, because at the end of where the bedroom is, you've got the window ledge and it comes around and it's got this little area that you can put stuff on. And I'm forever knocking things off there. And they're just like things like a box of tissues or my emergency radio. And I'm just like, okay, I need something to hold all this together, because then it's weighted and then it can't be knocked off easily. And so I got this little basket and I went in, as soon as I got it, I went, unwrapped it, went in and put my stuff in there. And I got my square box of tissues in there. I've got my Kindle in there. I have my emergency radio in there. The emergency radio is just a little radio thing that comes. It's got a flashlight on there. It's got a little tiny solar panel on there. It's got a crank handle, so you can wind it up to get the power for it. And it's got a flashlight on there. And you can listen to AM, mainly AM around. You got the weather channel on there. So if there's an emergency and power's out, you still have some way to find out what's going on, and you've got light. And I keep that handy by the bed. So if anything happens in the middle of the night, I've got that right there. And I've got my lip balm in there, and I've got my little flossy dental floss things. I use the ones that got the little stick things with the arch and the little piece across. I can't figure out how to do I always end up with sore fingers when I do the floss, where you wind it around your fingers and everything else. So I have those little hook things. So I have a bag of those sitting there as well. Because most of the time when I want to floss my teeth or get something caught in my teeth, I notice it when I'm in bed and it drives me berserk. So keep them there. So I was very happy I got step one done. But the other boxes have arrived. I've opened them. I'm very pleased with the quality, with the quality and everything else, and can't wait to show them all to you. And that's this weekend's job, is to do some organizing and sorting. And yes, I will take before pictures and after. I've already got the before picture for the vanity unit, and I've got the hanging baskets that came in. They actually came in with because there's 2 hanging baskets per pack, and they came in with 6 hooks, where you've got it's a square adhesive patch with a hook in the middle, and they sent 3 for each basket, but you actually need 2. So I guess it's, if one fails, you've got a backup. So I'm excited to get those in place. And I just don't have the energy to do it tonight. Otherwise I would. But yeah, I've got a bunch of recycling to take out, and I'm going through, sorting through stuff. So I've got recycle stuff. I've got trash stuff. So we'll be doing a car trip around the corner to the dumpster sometime in the next 48 hours. to get rid of the trash and the recycling. And I know there's probably going to be more recycling. I still have a couple of pieces coming in tomorrow from Amazon. So I'm excited to get those in as well. But looking at everything, I was like, yeah, I can't wait to get this done. So creativity comes in with organization as well. How are you going to organize things so that it is, and when you're looking at organization, this is my opinion. When I'm looking at organizing stuff, it's how best can I organize it so it is exactly where it needs to be for me to use it. Is it something that I need to have like right at hand? Like I have my little desk organizer thingy here with all my colored pens, my highlighters, my scissors, my post-it notes, my little fiddly toy things. It's all here at hand. It has some oils there as well because I have the bottle oil, the rollerball oils. So I have them, and I keep getting a big collection of oils here because I use one and go, oh, I just put it down. And so part of the thing this weekend is I'm going to clean this up and go through the oils, and do I really need to have them sitting there, or can I go put them in the oil bottle holder thingy that I have and just go and get them when I need them? Because it's a case of I went and got it, I used it rather than, but I also needed it throughout that day. And at the end of the day, it just stayed there. It never got cleared up. So it's looking at that sort of stuff as well. So it's getting creative and going, not looking at other people's plans going, oh, this should be here. This should be here. Yeah, no, it's how it works best for you. And I've got a little organizer to go on my little side table over there that will hold all the remotes. Because I have this little table that's by the recliner, and it's about this wide. It's wide enough that my iPad, I've got a 5th generation iPad that's a 10 and something inches, that it barely fits across. So the length of the iPad barely fits across this. I think it actually overhangs on that table. So it's not a very wide table. It's like about this wide. And it's probably 3 feet long, I guess. And on there, I have my Wi-Fi connection. I have my, what's that stupid thing called? Alexa Echo on there. I have my iPad on there. I have, oh, now she's talking to me. I have my remotes on there. And it kind of gets a little, and I have my tablet stand on there. My tablet stand is a bigger version of this for holding my thing, either the tablet or my phone, depending on what I put there. And so I was looking at that thinking, how can I organize this a little better so that I'm not having to find a place to put a snack? And I was like, what can I do? And I have a couple of pens over there as well. So I've got this remote holder coming that holds the remotes vertically. And I measured this at the end of the table, because the table, it's just cantilevered. And to put it away, you just clear it first, of course. And you pick it up and you slide it back down into its little holder thingy that's up against the wall. Well, the top of the holder thingy of the table thing that's there, the shelf that's there, it is the perfect size. And I found a remote control holder thing that fits that spot perfectly. It's the exact same width as the top of that shelf. It will fit in there. It will tuck in there. It will be perfect. And so I can have the remote standing upright. And I also have, because I think it holds like 5 remotes, and I only have 3. I've got the DVD player, the television one, and the Amazon Fire one. And so I'll be able to stand those 3 up. And I still have a couple of slots left for like pen holder, for holding the pens, and one I can put my glasses in. Because if I remember correctly, it's lined. So I was going to use one to put my, just to put my glasses in so they're not getting knocked around and everything else in there. So I'm kind of excited. It's sort of like, what can you use? How can you use it? Taking something that I have and repurposing it for something else. Like with my bed the other day. Oh, and I have to say, this is working beautifully. So we had, remember the other day we had this issue where I had a body pillow down the side of the bed between the bed and the window ledge where we have the shelf thing, and that was to stop Zeffie falling off the bed into that slot. And she kept falling down, sliding down into it on top of the bed pillow that was there. And I thought, and every time she slid down there, it moved the mattress across. And I said, like, yeah, we're going to be able to fix this. So for my birthday, I'd gotten a few of these 8x6x3 boxes, which all came with either brownies, blondies. I had a gluten-free one in there. I had a cookie, and there were cards in there as well. So, and I had a whole bunch that I had actually broken down. And so I thought, what if I put them together and put them underneath the body pillow? So I did that. And I did the same. And then I thought, well, hang on. She can still slide it across. I have to do the same on my side of the bed. So I put them vertically on my side of the bed, horizontally on her side of the bed. That mattress has not moved. I'm like, yes. And that cost me nothing. It just cost me, 6 boxes that were sitting there that people had sent me. So there's no cost for material, just a little bit of time to reassemble the boxes, put them in place. It works beautifully. So getting creative is looking at what do you already have that you can repurpose and use for something else. Would I prefer the cardboard there? No. But for now, it's working. I'm not going to touch it. And eventually, I'll probably end up finding something better to fit in there. But for now, the cardboard boxes are working. So I'm just going to leave them there. They're working fine. They're working fine. I really want... I can't get them. They always show... a lot of the RVers, there's some RVers that I follow on YouTube, and a lot of them show you how to organize your RV, different ideas in there. And some of them have some great ideas. Some of them I can't use and the ones that I'm really annoyed I can't use is in the refrigerator. There are these clear plastic bins that you can get. The shortest ones and they go front to back of the refrigerator. The smallest ones I've seen is 12 inches. My shelves in my refrigerator are 11.5 inches in length. And so it can't take these 12-inch ones. And I'm like, dang. Because, they have the ones where you can put the eggs in there. And I thought, well, that would be really good when I get the eggs because I hard boil the eggs. I put out my Instapot and it will take a dozen eggs at one time and hard boil them. And then I need somewhere to put them in the fridge. And right now I put them on the top shelf of the fridge. But now I have my baby carrots there because if I need a snack, open the fridge. And, it would just help organize things, like putting on my cheeses come in narrow packs. So I kind of have to lay them and stack them. Well, it would be nice to be able to have them vertically in a container that will hold them. So I'm constantly looking for different things and different ways that I can utilize the space better in the refrigerator and help with the air circulation and stuff. So I'm always looking, and, I've been in here for 3 years, and there's some things that annoy me because of the way I've organized it. So now it's like, okay, now that I've lived in it for a while, it's time to get creative and get stuff done. I have 2 cupboards that are over top of the couch down there that are half the length of this. They're 8-foot long cupboards. They have to be, they're just under 8 foot long each cupboard because must be around 7 foot long each. This overhead cabinet, the length of the pull out of the slide out here that I'm sitting in is about 16 feet, if I remember correctly. And of course, you've got the windows at either end. You've got a space up here as well. So we're probably looking around 7 foot each for each cupboard. That goes, and the cupboard goes all the way through. So if you're looking at one of the cupboards, you could open one and you can kind of see you all the way down to the end of that one. And it has 2 doors on it, and it has a middle piece in the middle as well. And so I kind of set up these baskets in there. I don't really like the baskets because they fit snugly at the top, but then there's these gaps down between the baskets. And if I put anything in there, if I need to access the basket, because you've got to pull the basket out to see what's in it because you can't see what's in it. This is all my troubles, I tell you. And even though I have labels on the end, if I've got to go in there, I've got to find a puzzle book. Okay, I've still got to pull the tray out, the basket out to get the thing, but then all the stuff that's sitting between the baskets goes, and now you got to pick it all up again. So I just want to make things simple and easy. And then I have that gap that's in between the things where it's solid. So anything I put in behind that wall piece, I have to be able to reach it in and take it out without having to pull out the baskets that are in there. So I got to find a better way to organize that. But I will be going through that because I know there's stuff in there that I haven't touched since I put it there. So I need to go through all of that and take that stuff out. And is it stuff that I need to keep, or is it stuff that goes bye-bye? So this weekend is taking all that creativity and just recreating spaces and stuff. I did the cabinet over top of the recliner using what I had at the time. And so I kind of have that sorted, but I feel like I could still do a better job. But because it's kind of already sorted now, I'm just going to leave it. It's my clothes and everything that I need to go through. And I looked ahead at the temperatures coming up this week, and we're going to be in the 50s Fahrenheit, which for you guys back in New Zealand is high single digits to low teens in that area. We've got those coming up. Our overnight lows are going to be in the low single digits for Celsius. We're in the 30s overnight. So it's going to get a little cooler, and it's going to be cooler during the day. Although today it was meant to be like 62 degrees Fahrenheit. And I was walking around in t-shirt, sweatpants, bare feet. I had 3 windows open. And it was nice. It was nice. It actually managed to stay like around 70 inside the RV. So it was actually really kind of cool. But, you know, creativity doesn't just have to be being able to draw or being able to write. Creativity comes in when you are organizing things, when you are planning. You know, you've got an event coming up. What do you need? What steps do you need to do to help plan it? What's the theme of the event? Creativity comes into play. So when you get creative, just grab. I have notebooks up the oh my gosh. I have notebooks that are like this, just little notebooks like this. I have, let's see, I have several of these type of notebooks as well. These are sort of like my daily notes that go into these ones. And then I have notebooks with the spiral across the top, because those are the ones that I like to do my creative writing and stuff in. And then I have, is it down here, or did I put that one? Oh no, there it is. Hang on. Oh, the straps come off again. Don't like the buckle on this one. So these are my this is my musings one. I like writing in those. And then this is my fun journal one. I love these old journal books and things. Oh, my hair's getting everywhere, I tell you. I need to cut my hair. And this one has a buckle that goes around. It has this really cool buckle here, but this buckle keeps coming undone. But it's on these, hello. She thinks I'm eating. It's on these beautiful linen pages. And I actually have, I have here a set of fountain pens, which I love to go to town with in this. And this one is, when I get creative, I'll put, you know, if I come across a quote that I like, it goes in here. If I feel like drawing, it goes in here. But if I find a Bible verse I like, it goes in here. Oh, I started drawing on that one. But these pages are really cool. And she made a little one. Oh, you want your puzzle. She's doing puzzles right now. I don't know what that was supposed to be, but this is like one of the things I did with the fountain pens. One of the things, just a drawing of, I don't know what. It was one of those creative modes where you just sort of like sketch and see what happens. But these are just really nice. They're linen pages in there, and they're in this leather bound. Actually, I think this one might be the pseudo leather ones. But I like these old ones, and I fill it, like I said, I fill it up with sayings. I fill it up with Bible verses. I fill it up with drawings. Just when you get in that creative mode, but you're not really sure. And I love using these, and I loved writing with these when I was a kid growing up. These are the fountain pen tips. So I'm trying to get it in focus a little more. Go up there. So these are the fountain pen tips. These are actually disposable ones. And who was I talking with the other day? I was talking with somebody the other day who used to use these at school as well. And we were talking about, you know, having the bottle of ink. And some of them you had to like unscrew. You'd have to unscrew like this piece here. And then there was a lever. Oh no, hang on. On the outside there was a lever, and you would dip the nib of you dip the nib into the ink, and then you'd get this lever and you would pull it, and it would suck up the ink into the thing, and fill up the pen, and then you just push the thing close again, and you could carry on writing. Other ones had cartridges where you had to take this piece, you had to unscrew this piece, pull off the cartridge and pop the new cartridge on. So yeah, there was all sorts of ways, and then you kind of have the I have one somewhere. You have the feathers, the quills, and I actually have one somewhere. And I have the bottles of ink, and you just dip in the quill and then write. So there's no actual reservoir on the pen, on the quill, but you just dip and write. And it's really kind of cool to do fun things like that. And but, I have all sorts of notebooks everywhere. I have to organize them. All my full ones are going into storage. The ones that are not full, they will stay here because I don't like putting away ones that are just partially full. But then I also have the notebooks that I use for different events that I go to as well, where I do event notebooks. Some of them I will take a notebook like this and use the whole notebook for that event. I have, starting on the 1st of January, I have a 21-day manifestation challenge coming up. So I have one of these ready to go for that, and it will take up most, if not all, of this, depending on how much I journal during that event. But for 21 days, yeah. And that size notebook fits perfectly for that event because I did it last year and I'm doing it again this year. So, get creative with what you have and look around, do you have containers that aren't being used that you could perhaps put to a different use? Get creative, whether you can draw or not, doodle. I doodle. I love to doodle. But I'm just going to, today I also got some disposable plates too. I'm in a phase right now where I really don't want doing dishes. I don't like doing dishes. So I'm so like, but I don't want to have to dirty it. So I've been using paper towels as plates lately, except for when it's been hot food that you can't really put on a paper towel. So that's be the only time I would pull out an actual plate. But the other times it's just sort of like, I'm just gonna make a sandwich. Okay, we'll just put it on this here. And because they're and these are really cool ones. Got these ones from Sprouts. And because I'm using dry stuff in them, it's sort of like, I'll just brush that off and I'll just use it next time. So get creative. And you may think, I can't be creative. Well, did you plan? What have you planned? You're using creativity to plan things. Sometimes you can go online and get ideas and that sort of stuff as well. And some people have some really cool ideas. I like watching all the RVers. And I love watching those people that are in like the converted vans, because they have to be very creative with their space on how they're using their space. And it always amazes me how much space people dedicate to the kitchen area of their converted van. And I'm like, I understand the refrigerator piece. I understand the cooktop, but you're in a van in a confined space. I would rather, go to the back of the van, open the double doors and have the kitchen at the back there. But yes, have a sink with running water and a refrigerator inside. But if you want to cook, you go to the back where you got good ventilation, and have a little butane cooker or something like that back there, and have sort of like an outdoor kitchen stuff that you can use too. But some of them get very creative with their showers and their toilets. It's very interesting to see what they do for that, because during the global pause and stuff, the campgrounds that were only open to those that were fully self-contained. In other words, you had to have running water, you had to have a bathroom on board for toilet and shower, because they didn't have their public facilities open. So you had to be able to, and cook. That was the other one. You had to be able to cook inside your vehicle as well. So it was kind of interesting watching some of the vans that came out of that. And they do have some very creative ideas on how they use their space. And I have watched oodles of these videos on converted vans and how they have used the space, even SUVs. I've seen station wagons, SUVs, station wagons, vans, on how they have utilized the space. And you get some really cool ideas from those. So if you're in a small space, even the tiny houses, on how they configure a kitchen so that you can get in what you need to get in, or how they utilize dead space. You think it's a dead space, but they've actually got it utilized for something else. That's always a good one too. Like the steps are actually drawers. So you can actually pull the drawer out from underneath the step, and you've got stuff stowed away in there as well. But if you're always looking for creative ideas on storage and for small spaces, go watch YouTube videos on van conversions, car conversions, SUV conversions, where they've converted them into spaces they can live in. And then also look at tiny houses as well, because I have some great ideas for living in small spaces on how to utilize space. Like I got these hanging baskets to put up above my vanity so that my vanity's clear and not cluttering up the fan and my my Sky Bliss light and my bookcase. It's my bookcase. So it's good to be able, I'm going to be able to get that stuff off the desktop, but it's like right there and easy reach, and I'm able to reach it. I'm able to utilize it. I'm just using wall space because I don't have a lot of free wall space in the RV. So it's looking like, like I could have done an over the door organizer thing for the bathroom, but I was sort of like, because one of the things I always recommend to clients when they're going on cruises is go down to somewhere like Target or something and buy one of those cheap clear plastic shoe organizers that hang over the back of a door, and use that on the bathroom door, on the outside of the bathroom door. And if you're a family, everybody has their own rows, their own places where they have their own toiletries there. They have just the little stuff, all the little stuff things, power, cables for charging things. But it's sort of like we used it for where we would put the suntan lotion there, we'd put any toiletries there. We had a place where we would put our room keys when we came in. So they were always there. In fact, I think most of the ships we went on, you'd have to actually put one of the room keys into the slot when you came in the door for the lights to work. But we had all sorts of stuff that was in there, just small stuff. So it was easy to locate because it was all clear and everything else. So it was awesome. And I thought I could put one on my bathroom door, but I have this really cool stick up on my bathroom door that I like to see every time I go past. Plus, there's a very narrow space in that area anyway. So it's sort of like I can't put anything on the door or on the wall next to it because it would stick out into my non-existent hallway as it is. And it's already, I can walk through it straight, and that's about as wide as it is. If I put anything on the walls, I'd be walking through it on an angle. Zeffie, not a problem. She just zips by on the floor at the lower level where I don't go. But for me, I can walk through straight to get to the bedroom, between the bedroom and the living area. But like I said, if I put stuff on that wall, I would be walking sideways to get through there. So it's how can you best utilize the space but still be practical. And some of the RV, I've even looked at some of the RV ones where they talk, where the full-size RVs like the fifth wheels or the Class A's, where they have they have families living in these things. How do they organize with all the kids and their stuff and their toys and for those that are homeschooling, where do they put the homeschool supplies and that sort of thing too. So it's always good to see how space is utilized based on what the needs of the family are. And that can spark ideas for you too. You can go, hey, I really like that idea. Let me try and see, will it work for me, and work through your process of, will it work for me? Will it not work for me? Or maybe you could take that idea and use it in a slightly different way to do what it is you need it to do. So you can come up with some great stuff. Just, if you need inspiration, just go watch YouTube videos for small spaces, or, organizing in small spaces and things. You come up with some great ideas. And of course, the thing that you have with RVs, any of the RVs, the conversion, the van conversions, the car conversions, anything that you have to do with RVs, you have to remember that if you are utilizing that idea, it has to be road safe. Is it, where are you storing the items? And because there's some that I've seen, I'm like, okay, what do you do when you're on the road? Because that would rattle around a lot. Things like that. Do they take some of the stuff off the walls? Like if I'm traveling, those baskets would be taken off the walls and would be secured. Because there's some rough roads you can go over. And but whenever I travel, everything is locked down. Like there's nothing left on the benches or the counters except in my bag. This one still puzzles me. I have this generic soap dispenser. I think it was like a CVS one, I think. And it's just the bottle, and you could, that's refillable, and I've basically just been refilling it. I don't even know what, it's the brand of soap that started off with there is not in there anymore. But this soap dispenser, it sits in the corner of my bathroom on the far side of the hand basin. So it sits in that little corner piece there. I never put it away. I never put it in the sink. I never put it in the cabinet. It sits there. It stays there. I've opened cupboards and had things fall on me. Yes, we had one particular road that was very, very rough. I have had things, move around with the motion of the RV and everything else. That soap dispenser never moves. Even over some of the roughest roads we have been on, where we're like, as you're going down the road and you're trying to control this thing and you're going through potholes and all that sort of stuff. And that thing never moved. I don't know what it is about that bottle, but it never moved. And I'm like, I am never getting rid of this bottle unless it breaks. But yeah, that soap dispenser never moves. Everything else, all the surfaces are clear of everything. It's just because I know that they'll move around in the RV. But anyway, get fun, get creative when it comes to organizing your space. Make it so it works for you in the best way that you can. If you're still unsure, you can always hire a professional organizer to help you come in. And I know a couple who are really, really good. They come in and go, okay, what do you use the space for? What is your vision of what you see? And if you don't have a vision, that's okay, because they will advise. They will say, okay, well, let's do this, this, and this. And like when we were living with my mother-in-law, I had her old dining room area. And so I couldn't put shelves in there. She already had some stuff that was in there. So we had to work around what was in there. And we got it very functional in that little space. And I was using milk crates as bookcases. Until they were able to lock up together and everything else. So I was using those for my bookcases, for my brochures and my books that I had, that I was always using. And they go through and go, well, when did you last use this? Oh, about 5 months ago. Okay, it's gone. But they will help you sort through. They have a process for helping you sort through things, what documents you need to keep, what ones you can get rid of. And if they're good, they'll even provide you with a list of, these are the documents that you need to keep over time and how long you need to keep them for. So whenever you're sorting through your files and stuff, you've got that list there. Oh, these are my tax returns. This is how long I've got to keep them for. These are my business tax returns. I've got to keep them longer than my personal tax returns. These are my receipts. This is how long I've got to keep them for. So that goes down this list of documentation that you need to keep as well. So you need to find space for that. And if it's something that you don't need to have with you, then for me, it will be in storage. I've got a lockbox in the storage thing, so it will be there in storage because it can get to be quite a lot. And yes, I do have scanned electronic copies of it, but in some cases they want to see the actual paperwork and not scanned copies. And really, so some of the departments haven't got up to full speed with scanning copies. It'd be nice when they do. But even then, there is certain documentation that you need to keep. You need to get it scanned so it's electronically. And if you don't want to keep it and nobody in the family wants it, then there are places you can send it to have it archived so that those records are there, like birth certificates, marriage certificates, death certificates, deeds, titles, all of that paperwork that will help tell the story of your ancestors. I have boxes of documentation that I am going to be getting as soon as I locate them all, get them scanned, get them all electronic so I can put them into my software program for my genealogy, and then the boxes will all be donated to one of the archival places, and where they will index it, they will catalog it, and in some cases they will make it available electronically. In other cases they won't, but they will have it there and they'll have an index of it, so that if people want to see the original documents, they can go, or copies of original documents, they can go in there and see them. So there are places like that. So when it comes to doing records, especially ancestral records, don't throw them out. Don't. You could have the only copy of a birth certificate in existence, the only record, because the place where the records were held may have burnt down, may have been destroyed in some way. I know when my husband's family came over from Ukraine, Lithuania, they brought over with them birth certificates, marriage certificates, death certificates, and with all the border changes and everything that's gone on in the last century, we may have the only copy in existence. We don't know. So if you've got stuff from countries where there's been wars in there, there's been flooding and fires and stuff, and you've got documentation from those countries, please, please, please get it scanned. And if you're not going to keep it, donate it to one of the archival places. Check with your local family history society, your genealogy society. Check with them, and they will give you good places to send them to, where they can be archived and maybe scanned and put online and that sort of stuff, because you may have the only copy in existence. Just just so you know. But anyway, I'm out of here. Oh, before I go, thank you to everybody who reached out to me yesterday for my 24th wedding anniversary. I truly appreciate the love and support that I got yesterday. It was awesome. I totally loved watching Legally Blonde again last night, and I thought, I haven't watched it since last year, so it was good to see that again, and just the memories that breakup scene, just seeing the restaurant where they do the breakup scene, and knowing that Brad and I stood there, 24 years ago yesterday, and exchanged wedding vows and stuff. And it was such a cool place. And the owner of the place at the time, I don't know if he's still the same guy, but he actually made our wedding cake. And he was amazing. Him and his staff they went above and beyond. They really did. They made it a very special day. And then we went back there for our 5th wedding anniversary, and our best friends, Mike and Rhonda, had called ahead. And so the table where we were sitting was the table where Warner and Elle were sitting on the spot where we got married. And they even came out with a platter that had Happy 5th wedding anniversary, Helen and Brad, and chocolate sauce on it. And in the center of it was a heart-shaped tiramisu. And Brad did not like coffee at all. He didn't like anything coffee flavored. He ate that tiramisu. I don't know what they did to it to help him overcome his coffee taste that he didn't, because he considered coffee vile, disgusting black liquid. But he ate that tiramisu. So I don't know what they did to it, because I think tiramisu has some sort of coffee flavored stuff in it. But he ate their tiramisu. So that was the last time we were in that restaurant, was for our 5th wedding anniversary. So that was 19 years ago. But yeah, it was a very special night, and their staff were incredible. And I've heard they've bought the building next door and expanded into that for when they do the weddings and stuff there. So anyway, I'm out of here. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys back here at 6 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. Hei konara.